So when I get a new laptop or a new phone, do I keep my FBI agent or do I get a new one? Does a new one come with a new...
Welcome to Polite Conversation. I'm Kayla.
I'm Amanda.
And I'm Wes.
This is the podcast where anything goes.
And everything falls apart.
So we are back finally one more time with the whatever this episode is.
I don't know. I forgot how to count.
I haven't been keeping up. I don't edit these things. That's our lovely editor over here, Miss Kayla. How are you?
I'm good. I've got to redeem myself a little bit from the last podcast. But it was late, and I could tell that I was getting tired. And, I just looked up. I was at my mom's house working on it on my laptop, and I looked up. I was like, I am such a bitch. There was just things I said. I was just so rude. So I got to redeem myself a little bit. Talk about nice things. I've got a couple of nice things I could talk about. I watched a great movie this last week. I read a good book this past week.
Nice.
Yeah, those are two of the main things. What do you guys got going on?
We're still trying to fix the air conditioner at the studio
Jesus.
or at the hair salon.
It's been so long.
Ugh. And that I had an emergency dentist appointment.
No.
Hands up if you hate the dentist.
Hands up.
Just saying, can't stand it. Biggest fear. They always want to poke you with something, and I turns out you guys are big on the depression and the ADD and this, that, and the other and all that jazz. Apparently mine is stress.
Yeah.
And it is, apparently I don't know about it. You know how we were talking about I go to sleep and then I wake up and I'm refreshed? Apparently I grind the shit out of my teeth at night, and I've ground all the enamel off of my back teeth, and now I'm hitting nerves.
Ouch.
Yeah, it hurt like hell.
There's also a mental health thing I could touch on this week too. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff we can. Mm-hmm. Whatever's the most interesting. What about you, Wes?
Work has been absolute and utter, I'll just be honest, shit. But it's mainly because I'm in a transitioning role of new position, more responsibilities, and same pay. No, just a lot of stuff. Just a lot of trying to get all the gears in motion, let everything pick up, and make sure that people aren't stepping on each other while actually doing their job. So,
right.
And I get to play that role of...
What's your title? A new title? Is it a title change?
I was about to say, the really cool thing is he saw a need for a position.
I can't take 100% credit on that, but...
He saw a need.
Yeah.
He wrote an outline and assigned duties to said position, presented it to the company, and they finally put him in said position. So
that's great.
He created
Congrats.
that. So I'm really proud of him.
Yeah, hopefully this will get me off the road, and I can stop making those 4 and 5 hour drives one way and do some other stuff.
Record more podcasts.
Yes, exactly. Other than that, that's it. We're back with the mosh pit. I don't know if Behind the Board is going to return. Aspen has been super busy, and when this comes out, she'll have played the Rotary Club's ice cream social, which is really cool.
I didn't know that. I'm excited.
FYI, the ice cream social is going to be in Seaborn Jones Park at 3 to 5.
You just heard me say by the time this comes out, that will have already happened.
Yeah, well,
And also, I'd like to point out for the people of Rockmart, if you just said the park, no one knows it's Seaborn Jones Park.
Yeah,
I don't think I know that subconsciously, but not really. So
I feel like it changed from Wayside back in the mid and late 90s.
I've never heard.
No, it's
that.
always been Seaborn Jones.
There's Nathan Dean, and that's different than the park.
Yeah.
But yes, it's probably always been that. But I just
No,
thought
it was
funny to
Wayside
hear
for years. It was Wayside for years.
Are you sure? Because we did the whole...
We're gonna fact check it.
Yeah, we did the whole road...
Growing up, we always knew it as Wayside.
Homie.
I'm telling you.
We wrote... I'm sorry. We wrote history for Welchfest, and in everything, it says that was named Seaborn Jones Park.
A historic location. Seaborn Jones Memorial Park. The Seaborn Jones Memorial Park, which is located in the historic downtown district of the city of Rockmart, was originally founded in the name of the Wayside Park due to its proximity to the downtown area. In 2002, the park was renamed in honor of Seaborn Jones. See more about Seaborn Jones Memorial Park.
Boom. And that's all I got to say about that. So anyway, moving on.
And that's all I gotta say.
That's right. I don't have to rub it in your face that I was right. That would be wrong of me. But
Listen, y'all just all come down to the park
and
get some ice cream.
Well,
I'm sorry, you were rolling with it, so I was like, well, she's gonna push into that accent, and I'm gonna have to pull it out again and go, come on down.
As I get more and more tired, I get more and more twangy. I need to reel it in.
Reeling. Mm-hmm. I mean, you don't get much more twangy than reeling it in.
Oh, God. You guys just finish this up. I'm gonna go.
Anyway, back on track. Did we have a track? Where are we at?
yes, we were talking about what's new with us this week.
And you said
Oh, we already
work?
passed all that.
Oh, and we watched Indiana Jones.
Wes and Amanda watched Indiana Jones.
Yeah, the other one over there decided to go see Barbie.
I want to see Barbie so bad.
Barbie?
So bad. If I had my way, Wes would dress up in a pink polo and take me.
Well, guess what's not going to happen?
No, he doesn't need to wear a pink polo. He needs to wear Alan's outfit. And look, after you watch it, we will talk about it because it is.
And I can be left out. I'm good with that.
I mean, you could.
No, I'm good. I'm good with being left out.
Actually,
I'll
no.
go see Oppenheimer.
No, you need to go see the
Oppenheimer.
Barbie movie because the patriarchy all needs to go see the Barbie movie, and that's what I will say about that. Don't be a Ken, be an Alan.
Oh, God.
Don't be a Ken.
Be a G.I. Joe.
It's so okay. Besides the fact it's like a cultural
Icon.
shift of a movie, seriously, like it is so good. It's not a kids movie. Don't take your kids to see it when it comes out on streaming. I mean, it's not like it's a bad thing for them to see. But it's like we were there, we were sitting behind like a party, like a slumber party of girls, and they all showed up with their moms. They were probably like 6 or 7. I'm not really good at that, judging how old children are, but probably like 6 or 7. They all had on sparkly shorts, pink shorts, and then their little crop top Barbie tops. And they were cute. They were cute as shit. They were so cute. And they all sat in front of their mom. They were all giggling. Everybody was so excited. And then the thing starts, and the music's like really pop, like,
Barbie,
exciting, poppy, and the like set is beautiful, and the colors are so pretty, and everything's great. And then it starts to get a little like more serious and honestly a little dark, kind of. And those kids are just looking around like so bored. They're, it's one of those things where the kids are bored unless the thing is like bright and pink and shiny, and it's not always. That's not what the Barbie movie is, really at all. To be honest with you, I mean, like there are parts, but the meat of it is not like that. And the moms are crying, and the kids are just like bored. And then the ending credits come on. They're like playing this Billie Eilish song. It's like, what am I made for? And it's so sweet and sad. And you're just like, I was sobbing. I don't cry, and movies usually don't make me cry. I was sobbing. I looked at my friend. I was like, what the hell? Like, this is supposed to be fun. But it was so fantastic. So the moms are crying, and then like the whole thing, the sad song. And then it lifts into this really like happy poppy Barbie song, and everybody's like, "Ah!" And you're like, "Can I have a minute?
right?
I'm gonna need a minute." That director Greta, shoot, it was on the tip of my tongue.
Van Fleet?
Not Van Fleet.
It's like, oh God, that's embarrassing. Whatever.
Greta did a good
If
job.
you've seen it, it's fantastic, and there's a lot of themes in it of just like patriarchy and mostly that, honestly, and like feminism and like girl power, but not in a cheesy way. And it was just about damn time, I feel like, for girl power to not be so damn cheesy.
Girl power can get really cheesy.
It's not girl boss, girl power. It's more like I know who I am, and we as women and mothers, and just the America Ferrera, she was wonderful. I mean, everyone was wonderful in that movie, but she did like is he
America
snoring?
Ferrera's in this movie?
Huh? What?
After he watches the Barbie movie, he's gonna be really embarrassed. That was his reaction.
He's not going to watch the Barbie
will-
movie. That is what I'm telling you. He will not take me. He will not think about taking me. I have asked twice, and he has said no.
It's so good.
I don't spend a lot of money on movie tickets.
It's $10. We've already discussed.
Thank you.
Hey, they do have the reclining chairs. I could pay $10 to take a nap, which I should have done during the god-awful Indiana Jones 5 movie. Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a back seat and let y'all just do your thing on that.
God.
Okay,
It
first of all,
was-
they need to stop aging people down. Stop doing it. It's not good for anybody. I don't want to see middle-aged Indiana Jones
Who
with
sounds like he's a
old,
fucking 90.
old 5-pack-a-day smoker Indiana Jones. I don't want to see it. I don't. If I wanted to watch a video game, I would have watched it. The entire
First
first
hour.
hour, the entire first hour was aged down Indiana Jones, and
That's
then
CGI.
and then if you thought the freaking refrigerator was ridiculous, ask me about the noose. That was ridiculous. And then this best friend just pops out of the thin air. This best friend that he's such good friends, he's got a goddaughter over that we've never heard of before. They killed Shia LaBeouf on paper, which
Spoilers.
I mean, you know, they killed off his son on paper. Didn't even have the luxury of showing like a flashback or the back of someone's black hair or something. You know what I mean? They didn't even have they just killed him on paper at the beginning of the movie, and it was so fast he didn't see it. They referenced it later in the movie. They were like, "What happened to you?" And he was like, "My son died," and it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. And then, and this is the biggest spoiler. So if you don't want to hear it, press me mute for like 10 seconds. Time travel. It was all the Indiana Jones were about finding artifacts of history, and now they choose time travel. I'm sorry. How obnoxiously lame could you get?
Well, let me step on that one of time travel is a great overused MacGuffin at this point. But the problem is they did absolutely zero interesting things with said time travel. Like, you could have done anything if you're going to introduce time travel, and you squandered the entire premise of it for a really bad joke. No spoilers on the joke. It was fucking terrible. So we're moving on that one. Now, that does bring me to another one. We can get onto a different topic here. So we've got the writer's strike, we've got the actor's strike, we've got everybody's strike at this point. I think all the delivery services are going on strike.
I know that I don't know where it stands right now, but I know UPS
negotiated something.
Well, they just wanted like air conditioning in their trucks or something.
Fuck them, air conditioning. Jesus.
No, that's okay.
That's sarcasm, folks.
let me
sarcasm.
I was like, oh no.
Time out. I am speaking up for a worker without air conditioning.
Without
right
time
now.
travel?
Seriously.
She would like to time travel to when she does have air conditioning.
Yes.
That would be a
Because-
good use of it.
Let me just say, working with no air conditioning sucks fat ass. Mm-hmm. I will say that again. It sucks fat ass. And if you're a hairdresser, it's 10 times worse because the hair sticks to your sweaty body.
Hey, look, I'm gonna totally agree with the worker strike, the UPS, FedEx, because our drivers, and this goes for Amazon too, because I know those trucks are just basically painted old ass UPS vans that probably were pieces of crap back then, and then they got rolled over to UPS with a new paint job, but absolutely no mechanical work, because we have one that comes to the house that, oh my God, it sounds like the transmission could fall out at any time. Same way with the couple that deliver to work. Like, you hear them. Like, they don't have to hit the doorbell. You hear the... And it's like, they're here. They have a package for us. But going back to the writer's strike and the... Who else is striking?
Everybody.
Writers,
The actors.
So, okay, with the rise of AI, you guys knew this was coming. The rise of AI, the rise of computer generating younger... basically, you don't have to have an actor anymore. You do not have to have an actor.
Do you guys watch Black Mirror?
No.
But
we know the episode you're about to mention on.
I dip in and out of it, but there's a new one, like the newest season. Mm-hmm. There's a episode about this thing, basically, is what I think they were trying to get at, which is just so interesting, and I was really invested. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of hard for me to get that invested in TV like recently or lately, whatever. Yeah, it's about how they just pick this random woman and they call it Joan is Awful. And her name is Joan, and they it gets real meta. Like, toward the end, I was a little confused, but it's basically like they would just take people's likenesses. Mm-hmm. It was her, and she wasn't famous, but then they had like Selma Hayek in it. And someone's like, well, I didn't say that, and I would never say that. And they're like, well, you signed on to be on this show, and we can do whatever we want. I think that was kind of what it was touching on. I don't know. Like, I just don't know why. Okay, I've been doing my resume lately. Let's start there. And I was just struggling because I haven't written like that in a long time. I had to get back in that world. I would read stuff I wrote a long time ago. I'm like, I can't believe that was me. Like, getting back in that mindset. And I was like, I'm going to play around with this because I haven't touched it. I really haven't. The AI stuff, I was like, I'm just going to see what happens.
She wrote you a full one, didn't she?
No,
She?
I didn't.
God, that's so weird.
It's Barbie.
Yeah, basically.
She. Women can do everything. They can be AI.
Well,
but yeah,
I'll get that
I had it write different things for me. And I plucked bits and pieces from it. Like, I didn't copy and paste it because it still was like, could I have copied and pasted it? Yeah, but it sounded kind of like a robot.
Yeah.
To me. But maybe to somebody else, they wouldn't have known that. I don't know how to explain it. It has to pull from somewhere, and it pulls from everything anybody's ever done and uploaded onto the internet. And obviously, you guys know that is the argument. It's like, you can't have AI without us.
Right.
Right.
And it can't come up with original ideas because it's a computer. But and then people are like, yo, it can be original. I'm like, it literally can't. But on the other hand, like, everything that anybody ever comes up with is basically a repurposed.
It's a rip-off. Yep.
Right.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I was playing with it when it hit its peak, the AI, the chat GPT and all that. And I was like, you know what? Let me just play around with this. So I played around with it a little bit, and it's really funny because, well, if anybody's listened to the Mosh Pit, you know, we usually talk early in the year. We usually touch base on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the complete shit show that it actually is. So you can ask ChatGPT who's in the Rock Hall. And there are certain ones that they'll pull and be like, oh, yeah, this one is in the Rock Hall of Fame. And if you just type, you're wrong, it'll retract everything and do it again. And it will do it until it finds the right website that lists the correct inductees. Like, anytime that you say, no, you're wrong.
But you're teaching it. You're working for whoever is.
Yeah, exactly.
You're
Well, I don't want it
it
to be right if it's going to contradict me.
It's the. Yeah, the only other time I've had any real experience with it, or 2 times actually, BuzzFeed. They have games you can play now. Yes, I think we've had this conversation. I still get on BuzzFeed. I like BuzzFeed. Leave me and BuzzFeed alone. So they have these games you can play, and it's like you're texting with somebody, and it is so quick. It is mind-blowing to me how quick it is. Because it's like, it does not know what I'm going to say, but it has the perfect response to whatever I say to it, and that was kind of scary. I almost was like, oh, I got to take a screenshot of this, and I'm like, it doesn't do it justice. Like, you can read it. You don't know how quick they were writing back to me. Like, seeing it in real time is kind of wild. And then on TikTok, I've been seeing this thing where people were like, I need cover headshot photos for my resume, and they use this app to do it, and I was like, honestly, I actually do need this. So I had it put together. You have to, like, give it a bunch of selfies. I don't ever take selfies.
Yeah, Linda AI.
It's called What's it called? Remini. And I had it do it, and I don't take enough photos, honestly. If I took more pictures of myself, it would have been better, but I'll show you guys what the closest it got to looking like me, and it's still, it's kind of weird. It still catches me off guard if it ever, like, pops up on my phone or whatever. Oh, where's it at? Yeah, this is where I loaded all the pictures. This is as close as it got, and it's pretty damn good.
That's really good, yeah.
And but I mean, I look like a cartoon.
I mean, and you have brown hair.
And my hair is brown, but it gave you all kinds of color options. I had long hair, short hair, pink hair, brown hair. Like, I had, but that's as close as it got. The other ones were not, but I just uploaded, like, these are the photos I uploaded.
Those are good.
Yeah.
But I had to, like,
Yeah.
if I had real clear, full-on face to the camera selfies, it probably would have been better, but.
You could probably do something like that.
For what?
If you wanted to do that, you take enough selfies. You have enough that it could pick through.
I've done Linda AI.
Oh, well, there you go.
You should try this one, and we should see, because it takes a little while, to, like, 18 minutes or 30 minutes or something the first time you do it, and then, like, I could just get on there and have it generate more stuff. But yeah, that was also kind of creepy.
But where do we draw the line with this AI? I mean, look, I'm not going to lie to you.
I don't think we ever needed it. That's what I was going to say, is, like,
Exactly.
I don't think it ever needed to be a thing, but how can you say that about anything?
But that's the
It's
thing,
here.
is some of the smartest scientists and engineers, Neil Tyson deGrasse, a couple other people, they have all spoken out. Elon Musk, For as much as people hate the guy, he's really smart. He's a terrible businessman, but X.
He's not smart. That man.
But if you think about it, though, but all the people that are talking about the Chat GPT, the AI, they've all said stop messing with this stuff because it can. I mean, you remember when deepfakes were such a big deal?
Yeah.
No, what the fuck are deep fakes?
Oh, you know what a deep fake is.
Nope.
It's when they like transpose people's faces onto I think it's a bit clunkier than what they can do now, but you basically transpose people's like celebrities' faces on like porn videos and
Yeah.
it would look like it was that celebrity. That's like an example of
Oh, okay.
and the voices, we've been able to clone voices for a long time, and that's scary because it's like, no, you said this or he said this, and they would do, like Obama's one that people do a lot, and presidents because they have lots of speeches and lots of recorded audio,
And it's learning just.
and it can make it sound like Obama said anything.
Like
Y'all showed me a song. That song.
Most of the things that you watch with Samuel L. Jackson, it's usually him or Morgan Freeman. Those are never their actual voices. I say never, but
Not
there's
on like movies. You mean like on TikTok or
yeah. Those are not. No, the AI, the music, and that's the thing is they are messing with art now in all forms. I mean, AI art was huge on the media's just a month ago.
What
I don't know.
in
I can't
particular?
like where they were doing the art. It was AI generated art.
Oh, like print me.
yeah,
Or paint me something like Picasso or whatever, and
Yeah.
they could do it, and it was not a Picasso work of art, but it was inspired by him.
Yeah.
Which is like begging the question: is this original? Mm-hmm. I
like
don't
where do
know.
you draw the line of when does this become copyright infringement? Because I mean, they could take your art, take Chroma Storm Arts, and do a pour by itself, not an actual pour, but an artificially enhanced picture of your art, and be like, oh no, this is mine. And they're writing songs now. The AIs they're doing their own music, and record labels are pushing back against it, going, hey, look, we're not going to accept this. But they're just doing their thing. It's fucking scary, honestly. It's absolutely scary. I did do it one time where I had ChatGPT. It wrote an episode of the Mosh Pit for me.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, hey, write me an episode for my podcast. And they were like, give me, specs. And I was like, here, and here. And it was a full page. And I was going, wow, that's pretty much what we do.
I saw something on TikTok probably like a week or so ago at least, where this girl was on there and she was really passionately like, get your stuff out of Google Drive. Get it out of Google Drive immediately. You write your books, you write your short stories, you upload your podcast audio, you do it, get it off of Google Drive because they can take it and claim it. I mean, this is what she was saying. I don't want to like be a conspiracy theorist here, but it makes sense. She's like, they're not doing it right now. But soon, because there was something they were actually doing and putting out in the world that made it pretty clear that this was the direction they were going. She said there's going to be a Google streaming service and there's going to be a Google, show. And it's going to be completely generated by stuff that you have sitting in your personal, in air quotes, files. They're like, she was like, get it out of there. Put it on Word, save it on your desktop. And then she gave a lot of other options of online drives that weren't heading in that direction. Mail.com was one of them she recommended. I'd never heard of that until I saw your email address, Wes. I'd never heard of Mail.com. I was like, what is Mail.com?
Mail.com had one of the biggest attachment limitations that I had ever seen on a online email. It was like something stupid, like 30 or 40 freaking megs that you could attach and send.
Yeah.
However, there was that caveat of just because you can send it doesn't mean that the file receiver can actually receive it. So it kind of sucked. But
and how many times do you give your address and they think it's Gmail like I did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that all the time. Is it Gmail? No, it's mail.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's basically where we're headed. And we're just going to have to choose that that's not what we want because, I mean, I don't want to watch. I do think that there's something to the human touch of things. Mm-hmm. And if we can find a way to use AI kind of like I did, have it write me something up and I'll get inspired and pluck from that. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to just like
copy and paste.
Yeah, because it still just didn't feel, and maybe one day it will feel real. I don't know how to explain it.
By then
Well,
it'd
I
be too
mean,
late.
here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's what we're looking at, and I feel like this is kind of like a good analogy for what we're all talking about. If you think about like bowls and plates and cups, right? If a machine molds them, you're going to get the same bowl, the same cup, the same plate millions of times, and then they can sell millions of them to consumers. And now everybody has that set of plastic Walmart stuff in their house because they don't want to wash the good plates, right? But you still have people like me and artists who are still hand making things that don't look exactly identical, that have the handprint of that artist in there. Like, my favorite thing about making pottery is you can actually see the fingerprints of the artist in the finished piece. And it's like, it's fascinating for me. But none of my bowls are even. They're all different. They have different designs because I get bored very easily doing the same design over and over again. I want to create something different. And there is a place for that. People actually actively seek those things. So, as an artist, am I upset that a computer can do what I do? Not really, because at the end of the day, people are going to crave the handmade things.
Yeah. I mean, I hope.
I mean, I would much
But
rather...
if they're not going to give it to me, it doesn't matter what I want, because that's what we have learned, if anything, from just the state of the world / I mean, I guess we'll just like make it more micro, the United States. Doesn't matter what I want. I'm going to have to deal with what they give me. Do I want to buy shit from Amazon and support that? No, but it's where it's the cheapest. I don't have a lot of money. It gets here fast. That's your option. And people are like, well, just don't support it. It don't work like that.
That's like all the people that used to boycott Walmart. It's like...
It sucks,
okay,
but it doesn't work like that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you can, and then you can add 17 stops to your trip every day to get your groceries first, and then go to your clothes store, and then go to your electronics store.
And you're going to pay more, and they're going to make it more inconvenient for you to do so to where they break you down, and you're just going to go to Walmart. That's what I worry about. And I don't know how that analogy translates over. Not your bowl analogy. That was fantastic.
Right. Yeah.
The analogy of the Walmarts versus like logging onto Netflix and getting AI generated content. If I didn't know it was, would I just think it was like there's just like a soul missing from it? We don't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, and that's another thing. It's like, do you really know? How do you know we haven't already been watching AI generated stuff? There is a writer strike. There is an actor strike.
We haven't
They have
hit,
so much. They have
haven't
so much
hit the-
backstock.
Yeah, but how do you know we haven't already hit the end of their backstock and we're already watching AI generated stuff? How do you know that? You don't. You don't.
I mean,
Just makes a point.
yeah.
Unless you mainly watch YouTube, which is uploaded by the creator.
But even it's getting just as bad. Listen, I hate to play devil's advocate here, but I will.
No, you don't.
You're right.
Love to play devil's
You're
advocate.
right. So here's the thing with your bowl analogy. That's great, but that's really close to not being right. I don't want to say it's not right, but let's take, for example, the internet is out there, ChatGPT, AI, whatever you want to call this stuff. It takes forms of everything out there. Mm-hmm. You mean to tell me? And yeah, a machine is going to produce said bowl because human programmed said bowl in said dimensions. Mm-hmm. Once it gets where it can find its own information, it can change the bowl at any time.
But who created the bowl in the first place? Mm-hmm. Any kind of bowl. Big bowl, squatty bowl, round bowl, uneven bowl. It doesn't matter who created that in the first place. Humans did. Mm-hmm. And then the machine gets programmed by the humans. Whether it changes...
Once it becomes...
But whether it changes the design of the bowl, it doesn't matter because it's already been done.
That's what I'm saying.
It's already been done. So it is still copying what humans do. No matter what it produces, it has been done.
I think what I took away from your analogy mostly was what I was trying to say earlier. I was like, I could have copied and pasted that, and no one probably wouldn't have known that I didn't write it. It just sounded a little stale.
Right.
It still sounded like somewhat, because somebody did write it.
Right.
Or, that's really hard. That's hard. It was written, and it flows, and its sentences structure, it makes sense. That's what I'll say. But it felt generic. It felt just professional, blah, 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 blah. That's what it felt like. So the difference between the bowl I get or the bowls I get at Walmart versus the bowls I'm going to get from you at your studio is I could go get a generic bowl, but from you it could look similar. You could even both have white, same size, same whatever, but yours is going to feel there's just something more to it.
There's
It's just
heart.
like a heart and a soul in it, and it's not so damn generic. So, because like, yeah, ChatGPT AI could make a TV show, but I just feel like at least right now where it's at, and I think that's the kind of the point Wes is also trying to make is like that's
Right.
where we're at right now. But if we keep feeding it and telling it to reprint the bowl, this time just research it on your own computer, and I tell the computer to do that. That's where it kind of gets like a mind
Right.
like fuck a little bit.
Right. But what I'm saying is there will always be a demand for said handmade bowls.
There always will be, but there will also be always a time when, yeah, I can get a handmade bowl. It's more expensive, so I'll just get one made. I'll get the massive. Oh my God! I can get 25 of the same bowls for $4, or I could get one of her custom bowls for $6.95.
And you know what? That's a whole other discussion because that's where they have put us. And I mean, they is the collective, big, overarching they.
But I
to where
also-
we don't get to make those. I mean, the majority percentage population doesn't get to make those choices. Even though it'd be nice, I would love to be able to own my clothing store in town and it do decently well. But I cannot compete anymore, and I don't see a world where we're going back to that. And that's what I'm afraid of this AI. Once we go there, we can't go back.
Right.
And that's what's scary.
I will say this, and I got in trouble for saying this, and I may piss some people off when I say this, but I'm going to say it because this is our platform. Y'all know who I am. Y'all know where I am. Y'all know how I feel about all this. 9/11 was the best thing to happen for our government.
I'm like, I got a shocked face on. I've not heard this take. What?
Okay, when 9/11 happened, this was the end of the 90s. This was the end of whatever you want to call that boom period.
90s was like one of the best economic times
Exactly.
ever
This was the end of it.
in America.
Because,
We had surge.
anyway.
Oh, the
Because,
drink? I was like, what?
derailed that one.
I was like, is that an economic term I'm not aware of? It's like, no, it's a soda. Okay.
Yeah.
So think about this. After 9/11, which was a horrible event, a historically horrible event, we were willing to give up our rights, certain amounts of rights, for the feeling of safety. That's how they pushed the Patriot Act through. Do you not remember in the months after 9/11, everything that they wanted you to do, they would end it by saying, and if you don't, the terrorists win. And I was like, what is this propaganda? This is terrible. I was in high school. That was 10th grade. And I'm going, no.
That
No.
would be an interesting discussion to kind of delve into. Like, I know that's not where you're heading with this, and I don't want to derail too much, but
No, we can.
I was a baby, honestly. And I know, like, sitting here now where, our ages the difference doesn't really matter that much, but in those kind of historical event contexts, I think it matters so much.
Well, I was in middle school.
I was in elementary, you were middle, and he was in high school.
Yeah.
So it's like that's an interesting way to look at it and how it shaped how we. Because I feel like you lived in a world longer than I did in the most formative years of your life, your adolescence. That is that is everything. You're taking in everything at that point. You lived more of your life in that world than I did. So maybe I don't see it the same way or don't feel the same way, which I feel like is kind of an interesting take I've never thought about because you're like really passionate about it. And I'm like, yeah, but it kind of just feels like it's always been that way. It hasn't.
And it has been for you.
Yeah.
And probably for you too.
No.
You saw a slight change.
Yeah. Well, I was in the middle of the road, so I saw what it was before, and then I lived what it was after.
Yeah. But it was one of the, and I hate to say it that way, but that is the only way I know to say it is the best thing to happen for our government because they could push things through that in the 90s, no, they'd have shot, we the people, we would have shot it down. We'd go, no, we're not voting for that. We're not doing that, period. But then it became, if you don't do this, the
Like
terrorists win.
Give me an example of what they pushed through. Like what about the Patriot Act? What was it?
They can tap your phone at any time. We've always known they could. They could have done it prior to 9/11. But once that pushed through, they could do it at any time, whether or not you. And that was another thing they always used. Well, if you don't have anything to hide, you don't have a reason to be worried. No, that's privacy.
I have never had, and this I think I can say this to be true. I don't think I've ever had, especially with technology. I'm not talking about outside of that, but I mean that's where we live our lives so much. I don't think I've ever had what's the word I'm looking for?
The inkling
That anything was private. Like anything I do on this phone,
Oh, yeah.
I know good and well that I can go on a private browser and I can do this and I can do that, or I can upload stuff to Google Docs. I've always known in the back of my head.
Yeah, somebody's watching.
And when people talk about that, this is where it really messes me up. When people talk about Apple, how, there's somebody missing and they need to get in, they want the stuff from their phone. And Apple's like, no, and they won't do it. And I'm like, but somebody's missing and you need to, they're murdered or whatever it is, Apple won't do it. And to me, that's always boggled my mind because how can the government not get what they want? And in those instances, I'm like, yeah, they should be able to have it. But on the other hand, it kind of makes me glad that like I can kind of have a tiny bit of security on this phone in a way.
In a way, but Apple just released a patch update that if you have any kind of explicit photos on your phone, they can pull those and shut your phone off. If you have any kind of explicit, and we're talking like, I don't want to even divulge.
Well, I mean, just to be clear, probably like child porn.
Yes.
Okay.
If you have any kind of photo like that, the Apple can search your phone. Guess
what's doing that though?
Oh, yeah.
AI.
Yeah, of course.
And it's all connected.
Yeah.
Goes all the way to the top.
I mean, look, you can...
That makes me... This is going to be really bad. I probably shouldn't say it out loud, but it kind of makes me worried because, like, a human can discern certain things. AI cannot. So what if you're a little person and you're sending your man, like, a sexy picture or something? Like how is AI going to discern you from a adolescent child?
I'm not sure, but I think what would actually probably happen is it would flag it, and then somebody, somewhere, a human, would have to look at it.
Yeah.
And then it's like...
But who signs up for that job?
I mean, I agree.
Well, here's my question.
I'm just saying.
But it's like, then somebody's looking at it, and then your privacy's still broken, at least by that one person.
Right.
Even though they're trying to keep you safe.
And if it's bad, it's multiple people.
Yeah.
But here's my question. So when I get a new laptop or a new phone, do I keep my FBI agent, or do I get a new one? Does a new one come with a new... I want to know, because I need to know if I need to send him, a holiday basket of,
You don't
Bath
do that?
and Body Works.
You don't do that already?
Send him a, I'm sorry you saw my dick 17 times this year.
Yeah. Hey, bro, can I get a rating on that?
I know you saw my search history.
It was research purposes only.
I'm gonna tell you that I'm okay. I mean, I'm not, but
But then,
I need you to hold your judgment,
Right?
Kathy.
hey, look, if you just call me, we'll talk. I can explain everything. But it's one of those things where it's so it can get icky when you delve into a lot of it. And I'm going to say icky because I don't want to use any other horrible word. Icky sounds better. It's icky. Hi, we're icky.
He's really digging into the icky.
Yeah, he is. But yeah, it's just those are just little things that I like to think about because nobody else does. Nobody else talks about it.
Okay, here's a question. Do you like to think about it, or are you just like, that's where your mind goes? Because to me, I'm like, yeah, I like to have this discussion. But tonight when I go home, I would love to shut this shit off.
Oh, yeah.
And I won't. But...
Oh, God, she's going to be researching. Who is my FBI agent?
Kathy, we're friends. We're buddies.
We're friends. We send each other little tags.
I send her funny memes.
Cat videos, that's what I look at.
If I watch a video 3 times, she knows it's for her. But yeah, I don't like to think about this kind of stuff because it just makes me want to burn it down and start over. That's how I feel a lot of times about most things. I'm just like, I hate it here. And by here, I just mean the collective here.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. Again, talking about our age gaps between us, it's funny because we were the generation that ushered in the internet. Y'all don't remember it in its infancy when you could post. Listen, look, I'm going to tell y'all something.
Listen.
Is the statute of limitations up on whatever you're about to tell us?
Should be.
Okay, cool.
Should be. going back to the war and all that nonsense after 9/11, I can't tell you how many people I watched
Back in the
beheaded
day.
because the beheading videos were right there. They were not behind some age restriction wall.
Yeah.
I've seen the ones where they used a fucking olive fork, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, bro, sharpen that bitch if you coming after me. Like, seriously, they were there, and they were
As recently as like 2011, you could still
yeah.
easily get to that stuff. I know that for a fact.
I've never watched it, and I don't want to watch it, and thank you very much.
She's the innocent one around the table.
I don't know about innocent, but okay.
But here's the other.
I've seen it because I've had, I have guy friends, and they're like, "Oh, look at
you
this."
gotta watch
and
this.
I'm morbidly curious. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Oh
Yeah.
no, that's not polite." I mean, I'm gonna like, what the hell? Like, I'm not gonna sit there and like watch the whole thing.
No.
That I will not do. But
I didn't
mean,
watch all of them,
no,
but I
you
did
can't.
see I saw a couple, and I'm going, Jesus.
But yeah, there was just any and everything that, and it's still there. It's so hard to find.
The worst
if you
one-
tried to, you couldn't.
I'm gonna bring it back. The OG, the worst one. 2 Girls, 1 Cup.
And see, that's tame by today's standards.
It's terrible.
Literally, it is
Terrible.
like if we had to describe that to someone who is 15, 16, 17, let's say 17 years old. That sounds more appropriate. But
Why are we bringing minors into this?
I didn't mean that. I meant like that generation. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
No, you're fine.
Let me
You're fine.
rewind. If we had to explain that video to an 18-year-old today, and we would be like, it was the most shocking, disgusting, gross thing ever. It was, can you believe people, people were just shocked that these people, they would have been, they would be so desensitized. They would just be like, and that's it?
Yeah. Let me bring up this horror movie I just watched on cable.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's really funny to think about. That was a what is the word?
Throwback.
That was
Disturbing.
viral before viral was a thing.
Yeah.
Right.
I never saw it. It's like it was in the ether.
I
Dude,
saw
that
it,
was-
and
that-
I wish I had never saw it.
I didn't, you know what? I honestly, this is not a lie. I've wondered if it was even ever really real
No, it was
Yeah.
real.
because I never saw it, but I know it.
Yeah,
I know what
never
it is.
found it. And it never popped up.
Because if you tried to search it, how would you know it was the original one at this
Yeah.
point?
Exactly.
You wouldn't.
No, my sister
Only the
tagged
people
me
who
in
had
it like a
seen it.
bitch. She was like,
Dude, that was the original Rickroll.
yeah.
People would send that shit in a
That-
link. Talk about
and-
something. You gotta watch
And it was
this.
an unnamed link, so when you clicked it,
It started like right into the video.
This was like before like scam links were cool, but people could send you links and you could click it and you wouldn't get scammed. But
Oh, you just get traumatized.
no, you just get traumatized. And I'm telling you, I'm watching and I'm like, honestly, my first thought was, why the fuck is my sister sending me lesbian porn?
Yeah.
And
fair.
I'm like, oh, God, why? And why am I still watching it? What the hell? And I'm like, and then they brought out the cup, and then they did what they did with the cup, and then they did what they did to each other, and I was like, and I called my sister, and I cussed her black and blue. I was so mad, and she was rolling the whole
Yeah,
time.
and she's probably going, why did you watch it? I still send stupid shit to a friend of mine, and he hates it, but he'll watch the whole thing, and then he'll call me and cuss me out, and I'm going, why the fuck did you watch it? I figured you'd be like, I don't have any data.
That's really specific.
My bad.
I don't have any data.
You know, that's another thing. No.
No. Speaking of I don't have data, does anybody remember when you had to buy minutes?
Yeah.
Now, let me go back
It's
a little
terrible.
further. Do you remember, hey, call me after 7 because it's
Oh.
free?
9.
It was 9, but if you had the good plan and you were grandfathered in, it was after 7, and you got free nights and weekends.
I got
Yeah.
free nights and weekends, and it was free after 9. But 9 o'clock was bedtime.
Yeah.
So it didn't really matter.
And who the fuck you talking to on the weekends? I'm doing shit on the weekends. But again, we were
We
the
had a
first ones
landline.
who, yeah.
It was
you ain't-
always free.
You ain't texting that damn thing. How come I can't get a response? So, anyway, y'all talk amongst yourselves.
What? Why?
No.
Because
no.
ChatGPT is about to write the rest of our outro.
Oh, God.
Oh, I love it.
Guess what? We don't have business.
what's
What's
none
not
of
our
our-
business? Guess what's not our business?
What?
What this damn AI says we have to close this show with.
Oh, but I want to make it my business.
Oh.
Oh, I'm watching it pop up on the screen. It is. That's what blows me away
that's quick.
more than anything. How fast it is. Like, I don't like, if it would, like, pretend to buffer, I would feel a little safer.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Like you're thinking.
If it was pretending to think,
Oh, no.
I think I would feel...
Now I could regenerate it, and it'll probably just bring, like, the same thing. And that's a wrap for another exciting episode of...
polite conversation.
We hope you enjoyed this journey with us through...
Polite conversation.
Well, it's supposed to be topic and subject, but close enough. If you liked what you heard, be sure to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode. Don't forget to leave us a review and share your show with your friends and family. Probably not this episode. We love hearing from you, our incredible listeners. If you have any questions, feedback, or suggestions for future episodes, reach out to us on our website and social media channels. Remember, knowledge is a powerful tool, but the real magic happens when we share it. So keep exploring, keep learning, and keep growing. What is this, PBS?
I was
The
about
Reading
to say,
Rainbow.
like, the Reading Rainbow. We were just talking about that the other day. Oh my gosh, just look in Barney's magic bag and see what you can pull out today.
Well, that was... We'll see what happens when we load all these episodes up and see if it can really make us something out of all of our audio. That would be fun.
Oh, God, that'd be great.
That's a TBD.
Dude, then we won't even have to be here. We can just, like, upload the...
Great, because I'm so sick of y'all.
I mean, God. Literally, you guys, if you guys could see us, we're all sitting here barefoot, sprawled out, comfortable.
I'm miserable here. They're lying.
So wait, do y'all feel like on the same thing as AI, do you feel like reality TV shows is where podcasts have evolved to?
Ooh.
On the next episode of the podcast, we're gone.
Thanks for joining us for this polite conversation.
Catch us every Monday at 9 a.m. for new episodes. That's Eastern Time.
Find us anywhere you listen to your podcasts.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
When this is over, don't think about it. Don't shout about it. Just say the word.